Hey, what's up, guys? Here again. Dr. Cunningham. I just have these moments of epiphanies or just moments of like, let me share my thoughts. Now, with consideration of my health journey, I'd like to say that I really have been a sporty spice for many years. But it did require me many years in order to shift my eating habits. First, eating habits are intergenerational. Two, eating habits usually are similar between the parents and children. Why? Because the parents feed the children. So whatever the parents eat, the children eat, unless parents are very, very mindful of what they feed their children, for the sake of making sure that their children is getting a nutritious, balanced diet, but also a diet that does not, increase weight because of all the additives, preservatives, all the extra stuff that the body really doesn't require, but has to expel and to go through the entire process of the gastrointestinal system as well as the kidneys. So, and flowing through the blood vessels and so forth and so on for the sake of heart health and all of the nuances. Y'all understand. But what I would like to say is that my journey has been interesting with consideration of my weight loss, because it was like, well, when was it? 2014, when I met with a natural medicine doctor and got all the blood tests done and determined that my thyroid really is very low functioning. I mean, it's literally right on the cusp of hypothyroidism. So if I was like zero point 0.2 notches over, I'd be considered medically hypothyroid, which means that my metabolism sucks. And now it wasn't until 2014 when I was literally like 32, 33 years old. So it's been a number of 10 years essentially where I'm aware of the fact that my metabolism sucks. Like, I already knew, but it wasn't until like I had confirmation through blood tests that it really was true. So since then, I've been on a journey, and I don't like taking chemical based medication. And this past year, proved the reason why. Because for about 6 months, I was on Zepbound. I went and met with the doctor, who's my weight management doctor, and essentially was telling him, like, look, I know that there are long term effects. I feel like I'm starting to feel some of those effects. And so he was like, well, let's switch to some other medication. Then he put me on phentermine and topramate, which is essentially like a combination drug used for weight loss, but then also assists with ADHD meds. Like 2 for 1. Awesome. As you all know, sometimes when y'all watch my clips, when my mind starts getting a little tangential, but we're going to remain focused. Okay. So with that said, I utilized topramate and phentermine from like February until about May of this year. I met with a new primary care physician. She did some tests and said, look, Dr. Cunningham, I'm not liking these numbers as far as your blood pressure, so you should stop the meds. And I'm like, for real? Like, really though? And your kidney, you want to be mindful of your kidneys, literally. And I was kind of like, okay. So then essentially since May, the end of May, so probably like June, July, and now we finished August, so 3 months, no meds. But that means that I must really maintain a strict diet as well as exercise. Now, what I'm thankful for is for the past year that I have maintained an exercise regimen, and for the most part, the diet. Not every so often, I'm gonna have a cheat meal. Like, seriously? This Cookie Monster wants a cookie every so often. And I mean that literally, okay? Because I have a sweet tooth. Like, I still make great red velvet cake, like with the cream cheese frosting from scratch. Y'all understand? I'm a baker. Like, because I like the scientific exact measurements, but I could bake, and I bake everything from scratch. Do you understand what I'm saying? And recently I started doing a lot more cooking, but I like those like 30-minute meals. Like, I like Rachel Ray. Like, literally, you ever watch Rachel Ray? She's like 30-minute meals. I'm like, yes, honey, because the way my life is set up, give me 30-minute meals that I can make everything in one pot and then just continue on with my day. And it's a balanced meal and it's delicious, you know? So, with consideration of my diet, I am thankful for this particular journey. What I am aware of is the fact that I'm able to maintain my weight and I'm not gaining weight and I'm not really fluctuating more, maybe like 5 pounds. And when I went on vacation, maybe like 10 pounds, 15, but then I could just drop it literally as soon as I return home and then maintain my regimen or just a little stricter on the diet for like a week or two. Then it's like, boop, all the weight dropped already. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, I still have another 50 pounds to go, you guys. And I know that I am going to drop the weight, but it's requiring a different level of discipline. I've dropped weight previously, but again, I did a very extreme way, which was essentially like fasting and just not eating for like a month. But at the same time, it's not a matter of just weight loss. It's a matter of what the maintenance plan is in order to maintain the weight loss. So, because if you just recently dropped weight, you can easily regain the weight because your fat cells are still kind of getting accustomed to the fact that they don't have as much fat as they used to have in them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I also am, on this journey the natural way. I've looked into getting surgeries, you guys. But after going through the fibroid surgery last year, June 7, 2024, I realized how much I really don't like people cutting on my body that much. Really. I've gotten liposuction once. That was in 2018, and that was around my midsection. Because after I did HCG, I regained weight, and I, for the first time, really started having a belly when I didn't have a belly before. So, my fat returned in different places and it ended up being visceral fat. So now I'm so mindful of my midsection because I've always had a tight belly. Because growing up, my mother would always say, you're going to put the girdle on and you're going to suck your gut in and sit up straight. But you know what? That helped with my own natural girdle. So here is like, what is a girl to do? So I just got to remain, true to the discipline and continue on the path. And so here we are continuing on the health journey. And I'm eating actually more vegan or vegetarian, meals because I still include like cheese every so often. But I still like almond milk, oat milk, but a lot of fruits and vegetables and grains. And I put fiber in everything. For real, flaxseed, chia seeds, just the powder fiber and everything, literally. And I drink a lot of water. So I'm staying hydrated. Over here drinking my water, minding my business, and just continuing on my health journey. And so here's to, encouraging those, especially us who are curvy, and don't necessarily have like the stellar metabolism that everyone thinks that everybody should have, and you could just drop 50 pounds in like 2 days. Like, that's just, first off, not a healthy way to lose weight, especially if you're expecting to maintain the weight. It's usually about a pound and a half, 2 pounds a week is a healthy weight loss. Now, when I'm going to an extreme, I can still drop like 5 pounds in a week. But I'm also mindful of how I'm going to eat or reintroduce food to my system to make sure that I don't gain the weight that I just lost. Okay, so you all have an excellent day. I certainly hope that you all enjoy your Labor Day. And here's to health, not just now, for the sake of the future and longevity. Have an excellent Labor Day.